Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for the Saturday Bhakti Shastri class and thank you for joining in early. We just quickly start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चातदेशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining in. So the last time what we had completed was the seventh shloka where Krishna says that Mame Vanchi Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashashta Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So what is that Karshati? Now Krishna is going to explain in this particular verse. So where he's saying that these living entities in this world, they are my eternal fragmental parts and parcels. But because they have their conditioned life, they are struggling hard in this material world with their six senses, and these six senses include the mind also. So, um, so Krishna is actually now going to elaborate that how this jiva he is carrying these carrying these senses, and how is this jiva going to struggle into this material world. So he says that शरीरं यद्वाप्नोति यच्चापि यच्चाप्युक्तक्रामतीश्वरः गृहीता वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धान् इवश्ययात्. So he says that the living entity in this material world carries different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aroma. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. So, he's talking about how the living entity he keeps on changing his bodies. So, when he's saying that, Shariram yad apnoti, over here, when he's saying that, let's see the word meaning. So, one gets this particular sharira or this body, and then what kind of sharira will he get? That will depend on whatever karma he has done. And then he's saying that yat chapi utkramati ishvaraha. So utkramati means he's giving up. One gives up or one departs from that particular body. And so he's saying that, so it is Ishvara, the soul is also Ishvara. Why? The soul is considered Ishvara. And then he's saying that Grihitva etani samyati. and Samyati, and then he's saying Vayur Gandhan Iva Ashyat. So he's saying that Grihitva, to take off. He's actually taking off. And Samyati, then he's giving up also. And he goes away. Vayur Gandhan. So when he's saying Vayur means wind, okay, or the air. And Gandhan means what? Fragrance or the smell or the aroma. So what is that? Ivashyat, it is the source. So here Krishna is giving an analogy. When the wind is blowing, so when the wind blows, then you have a garden, and when the wind is blowing through that particular garden, then the wind will carry the fragrance of that particular garden. Whatever flower smell it has, it is going to carry that. And similarly, he's saying that the soul acquires different conceptions of what is life. How is life meant to be enjoyed? So some people, are, you can say, sadist. Means what? They enjoy more if they see others or cause pain to others. Like, you can say, yeah, Mrigari is the best example. Mrigari, he was a sadist. What he used to do is, he used to kill animals half, and he used to enjoy seeing them struggling or suffering for death. That is so. In the mode of goodness, we want to be happy, and we want others also to be happy. It's not like that I am sad, so the whole world should be sad. No. And when somebody is in above the mode of goodness, or somebody is in transcendence, so we want to give up our happiness for the sake of others, and that is actually love. Like if you see in the gopis, they are not bothered about their happiness, or the gopas are not bothered about their happiness. They want to see only Krishna to be happy, and their very existence is surrounded around Krishna's desires only. That what will make Krishna happy, I will only do that karma. Or if you see the great souls, for them also, what will make my spiritual master happy, my life will be surrounded only toward those activities. So no activity for sense gratification. There is only activity to please Guru and Krishna. And in passion, I want to be happy. Others don't matter to me at all. Others can enjoy also if they want to enjoy. But basically, I want to be happy. And ignorance, it's like a very sad state. In ignorance, I want to be happy, but others should be miserable. So that is ignorance. So it's very horrible. So different people have, different conceptions of what makes them happy. But a soul is responsible. So in every action, the soul is responsible. So if we may not be able to choose some external situations that are there, which we go through, but we can choose our actions. Definitely, we can choose our actions. So, like for example, if I want to go through a crowded local train, but in that situation, we can think of something else out of this worldly situation. So that is how we can go beyond our experiences. Like a person in his childhood, he was abused, right? So he can become a person who abuses others, or he can become a rehabilitator also, right? of those who are abused, right? And so we have our own independence, or we have our own free will, and we can choose how we respond. So in this particular verse, the emphasis is like um, how the soul is affected by these circumstances and by which the soul goes through. So if we expose ourselves to certain situations repeatedly, then we become habituated to those circumstances. It makes us accept that kind of situation is very normal, and we can act accordingly. Like somebody has this habit of lying, somebody has this habit of not bathing, somebody has this habit of um, being untidy, right? So he's thinking that that situation is very normal. So, like in Indian, um he does not know anything. For example, in India or in any other country, okay, some people do not know about a particular game. Say in India, most people do not know anything about baseball. Because in my school, we used to play baseball, but many people don't know what is this baseball game. But somebody who goes to USA to study, uh, if he becomes infatuated with baseball, that is like, Vayur Gandham Ivashyatah. We acquire a particular conception in our mind of how we are going to enjoy. So we are shaped by our experiences, but we are not determined by our experiences. We can respond in different ways. So, how we are shaped by our circumstances around us. So, we should choose also our circumstances as much as possible. Like, for example, somebody is staying near a liquor bar. Now, he has a choice whether he wants to drink liquor or he does not want to choose, right? So, when he's saying Karshati, it is the cycle of birth and death through which the soul goes in, the hope of material enjoyment. So when he's saying, so like when, in we have this mantra before actually we honor prasadam, he says, Sharira avidya jal, jadendriya tahekal. So now my this sharira body is trapped into ignorance. अविद्या के जाल में मेरा ये शरीर फंसा हुआ है, right? So this ignorance not only covers us, but it is actually trapping us in its own covering. And then, which is the pathway? These senses are the pathways to destruction for us. So when he's saying Ishvaraha, so the word Ishvara means that the soul can choose its destination, whether he wants to do something right or wrong. So Vayur Gandham Ivashyat is there, but still a soul can choose it, and he can direct his journey of this transmigration from one body to another body. And this transmigration will happen, but where we will go, that choice we have. That independence, I have that independence, or that free will I have. So the soul gives up one body and he takes up another body. And that depends on whatever conceptions the soul particular has. So what we are choosing in our life, what are we desiring in our life, a lot has to do with our next life also. So if I am choosing that I simply want to serve Guru and Krishna, then I transcend the three modes and I go beyond the three modes. Okay. So you see over here what Srila Prabhupada says that one gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit this body in due course. It is stated here that the subtle body which carries the conception of the next body develops another body in the next lifetime. This process of transmigration from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati. See, currently also, people are struggling in that body, but they are not realizing that what actions should I be choosing, what I should be choosing so that I can cut this transmigration and I can go to that eternal place where I won't be entangled in the uh, I won't be trapped in ignorance as such, right? So when you have knowledge, see, knowledge is considered to be as light and ignorance is darkness. So where you have light, then you won't be trapped. You know how to free yourself from that particular trap, right? Or you won't fall in that trap again as such. Okay, so let's go to the next shloka. So then he's saying that once he gets another body, what exactly happens? Shotram chakshusha sparshanam cha rasanam granavameva cha adhisthaya manaschaya vishayanopasevate. So he says that the living entity thus takes another gross body, obtains a certain type of a ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So, what is he saying over here? Shotram chakshusha sparshanam. So he's saying that he's actually describing these five senses: the ears, the eyes, the nose, the skin. Rasanam, grahanam, evacha is all these tongue, nose, and all that. And he's saying that adhishtaya manah cha ayam. Adhishtaya means what it is being centered around, or it is being supervised by, and it is situated around or situated in. So it is situated, in what? Manas. Mana means mind. So all these senses are centered around the mind. And then he's saying, Cha ayam vishayan upasevate. So what does the soul do, or this particular person do, when he has these five senses which are centered around the mind? Vishayan, then sense objects ki taraf wo bhagta hai. He runs towards the sense objects. So, and to enjoy it, that is why this word sevate has been used, because he wants to actually enjoy. So actually, what is the soul doing? The soul is sevate. He is serving the sense or objects. Like for example, you have a mobile and you're serving the mobile. You might say, hey, why should I serve this non-living object? But actually, we are serving those sense objects by continuously somebody's, clicking, 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 scrolling as such. So actually, depending upon this Ivasyat conception of life, we have acquired, like, or we have been given the next body. Like Prahlad Maharaj has given one analogy that a person who's having many wives, he's dragged, or this particular soul is being dragged by these senses. Sometimes all these senses are attracted towards that one sense object, the eyes, ears, nose, but often sometimes in different directions also, right? So this way, this soul is trying to enjoy, but because it is trying to enjoy in a wrong place, it gets bounded as such. So, I always give this analogy of like, my palm. Okay, so like this is my palm, and my fingers are centered around the palm. So all my five senses, they are centered around the mind, and the input is coming from the mind. If you see my palm, then all that input that is coming, it is coming towards the mind. So this mind is getting that inputs from several sources at one time, and they are integrated by the mind. Some of them are conscious and we perceive them, like several inputs, coming uh, in our mind. Or like even in a computer, if you see so many inputs, all control, delete, and this, that, and open this window and open that window. So some of them are conscious and we perceive them like, many inputs that are coming into. And so in that computer, what happens when too many, inputs are given, then what is displayed now? Um, so what is displayed on that monitor? For example, whatever my consciousness in my mind is, whatever there is inside the computer is displayed on the monitor. So what is in my consciousness, or what is in my conscious mind, it's what's going to, be what is going to be inside, and that will be outside also. So whatever is in my even subconscious mind also, that also will be displayed. So this mind integrated, or it has integrated all that input, and now it presents that only for action. And all the senses are bringing input from these various sources, and it is giving it to this mind. And now this mind will choose which input should I take in, which input should I focus on, how to respond, and that is actually decided by the soul. But the mind is integrating and it is presenting a very nice composite picture for the soul to decide. So even in our brains also, if you see that we have different neurons for capturing some different aspects, like um, uh, if for example, right now a parrot is flying over here. Okay, so it's is there. So I have a different, you can say, aspect, or for me a different neuron, which are different parts of the brain, just capturing different things, like what is the color of that parrot, or what is the shape of that parrot, or what it is chirping, what is it eating. But there is no part of the brain which are like integrating all these things. So all these things are at synchronous at one instant. So this is actually the mystery of this neuroscience, that how these inputs are integrated, and as there is no some physical thing which we can integrate, you know, and so this integration is done by, my mind, which is different from the brain and is a very subtle object. So all these signals which are, coming from, or they are rooted through the subtle body, and the subtle body is presenting it to the soul. And then the soul takes the decision and he tries to enjoy. So if you see in this purport also, consciousness is originally pure like water. But if you mix water with a certain color, it changes. Similarly, consciousness is pure for the spirit, soul is pure. But consciousness is changed according to the association of material qualities. And Srila Prabhupada goes to say that real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. When therefore one is situated in Krishna consciousness, he is in his pure life. But if his consciousness is adulterated by some type of material mentality, in the next life, he gets a corresponding body. He does not necessarily get a human body again. He can get a body of a cat, dog, hog, demigod, or any other 84 lakh species as such. So, what is my association? Then that is deciding my next life. But if I am Krishna conscious all the while, then my next destination is the spiritual world, where I will go in that spiritual world and I will serve the Supreme Lord. Sometimes some people feel that the spiritual world is a very fantasy world, or they think that, oh, I'll be going there and I'll just enjoy over there. But no, the Brajavasis don't enjoy. They get enjoyment by the mercy of Krishna. Because the intentions of the Brajavasi is to serve Krishna and to please Krishna. Now, in that proportion, they to the proportion they want to give enjoyment to Krishna, in that proportion only, Krishna actually gives them that happiness and enjoyment as such. So, over there, it's like, no, no person can reach over there who does not have that intention to please the Supreme Lord 24 by 7. I'm just talking about 24 by 7 here. Why? Because we can understand what is 24 by 7. Because over there is no time. Time is not present. There is no past